Hello, I am Dr. Arun Bhatia. Today, in our video lecture, we are going to learn a new way to learn English tenses. Please remember that there are many ways. Some teachers use translation method, some says that there are 12 tenses and they talk about that. I am going to adopt a very different approach about tenses. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Arun Kumar Bhatia. I have done doctorate in English, and beside that, I have done a leadership program from Cambridge University. I am Ahmedabad from DTU, and I have been a master trainer in British Council. And above all, I retired as a principal from Directorate of Education, Government of Delhi, and have, you can say, more than 30 years of experience in teaching. So let us talk about what is the new way I am talking about. So first of all, there is a fascinating distinction between time, which is a universal concept, and tense, which is a grammatical concept. I want to highlight a point that often surprises students linguistically. English has two morphological tenses. What we have been taught in our classes that there are, when we were student, that there are three tenses, but morphologically English has only two tenses, present and past, because those are the only two that change the actual form of the verb. So first point is time versus tense. So what is time versus tense if we talk about that? So see, time, it is a universal concept. Time is a natural non-linguistic concept that exists independently of any language. It is a continuous line stretching from infinite past to the infinite future. You must have read in your classes about number line in mathematics, so I am going to adopt or use that number analogy. Think of a time as a mathematical line where 0 is the present moment, anything to the left is negative, which is past, and anything to the right is positive, which is future. So here is the number line. We are here, that is now, we are talking about this. Then left word is past, which has gone past, and the coming event we are talking about, that is future. So tense, what is the linguistic expression? Tense is the way a specific language manipulates verb form. Remember, you have to remember that tense is related with the verb form to indicate when an action happens. I mean that when the action happens, whether in past, in present, or in future. In linguistics and traditional grammar, verb tenses based on inflection refer to changes in the verb's form. So what does it mean? We have to change the form of the verb to indicate whether something happens in present or was in past or is going to happen in future. To indicate time or aspect without the need of auxiliary or helping verb. So what I want to say or convey is that we need not to use any auxiliary verb, that is will, shall, etc. Because English is an analytic language, it has limited, please note this word, this is inflection, inflectional morphology. Morphology, study of verbs, study of words compared to language like Latin or Sanskrit. We have very limited choice in English. Consequently, English only has two simple tenses that are formed through direct inflection of the verb stem. What is the verb stem? Say I write verb go. So this is the simple word, one word, or you can say this is the verb stem. Future events are expressed in variety of ways. So what is the morphological rule? In modern linguistics, a tense requires a change in the verb stem, which is known as inflection. English tenses, under this strict definition, English has only two tenses. Present, see, present is walk, run, eat. This is the base form of the verb. And then past, we have changed walk to walked, run to ran, and eat to ate. So in this way, we have come from present to past by using the second form of the verb. The future debate, what is then? Phrases like will run are technically considered a modal construction using the auxiliary form of auxiliary verb, that is will. This is not a separate tense because the verb run does not change in its internal form. If teachers tell that there are three tenses, then my question to them is that verb tense is a grammatical form and the verb can change only two forms. Here what you have seen, as I have already told you, run to ran, eat to ate, and we need not to use any other word. If we use will or shall, then this is not inflection, this is not tense, these are use of auxiliary verbs. Now, what is then the conflict? What is the conflict between tense and time? Time I have already told you by drawing a number line. Now I am going to talk about the conflict. The grammar tense we use does not always match the actual time. This is the main thing. Grammatically, we use the word tense. This is not one-to-one relationship with the actual time of the event. Here are some examples how English break its own rules of time and tense. Say, using present tense for future time. We often use present form to discuss scheduled or certain future events. The present simple. The train leaves at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So what we are talking about? We are talking about a future event, which is a scheduled event. We are talking about timetable. But what we are using? We are using a present simple tense. So present continuous tense. I am meeting the CEO on Friday. So CEO, you are meeting the CEO on Friday. This is a present continuous form but used for future time. So there is no one-to-one relationship. Using present tense for past time, the historic present, this is a very important use and contradictory also. See, as seen in your notes, we use present tense to mark stories feel more immediate and dramatic. See, so I am walking down the street yesterday and this guy comes up to me and asks for the time. So here we are using present tense form for past time. This is known as historical present. Literary example. In 1789, the French Revolution begins, used in history books to create sense of presence. We want to draw the event happening before our eyes. That's why present tense is used for past events. So again, you see that there is no one-to-one relationship. Similarly, using past tense for present or future time, we often use the past tense to express politeness or imaginary situation that are happening now. Politeness. I wanted to ask if you have a minute. Now what happens? Past tense is used for present request. You are making a request in the present, but you are using wanted. So this is the second form of the verb, that is you are talking about or you are using a past tense. Conditional. See, if I won the lottery right now, I would buy a boat. The verb won is past tense, but the situation is present or future imaginary one. So you are using past tense for imaginary situation in present or future. Determining time through the context. Now then, what is the best way? Best way is you can determine the time through context, because tense is often unreliable. As you have witnessed that we use present and past tense for future events also, sometimes present for past events and vice versa. So there are certain time phrases from which we can make idea that what is the time of clock where something is happening. Say, if we talk about past, yesterday, last year, ago, in 1998, so all these are time markers which indicate that something is happening in the past. I see him last night. Now see, I see him. This is the first form of the verb. Simple. If you don't use the word last night, again I have written that this is a known standard, but clear time. And what is the time? Time is last night. So clearly this is past event. Now see, present, today, now, at the moment or currently. She is working right now. We are talking about present event. So for to note down what are the time adjectives, what are the time spans today, now, at the moment or currently. Whenever these one word out of these is mentioned there, then you can say that these are the present events. Similarly, tomorrow, next week, sooner, later, these refer to future. So the store opens on Monday. Store opens on Monday, this is a future event. Side by side, this is fixed. You can say timetable or this is a schedule that now the store is closed for long weekend and it will open on Monday. But instead of saying or using it with will, you can simply say the store opens on Monday. There is no need to use will or shall. Now what are the key takeaway what we have discussed so far? What are the things we have learned? While the verb tense provide the grammatical skeleton, the context and time adverb provide the actual clock for the sentence. So what you have to do? You have to see tense. Tense is a grammatical skeleton. And you can say the muscles are what? Context and time. So you have to make idea from the context that at what time the actions are happening. Now see again. Two inflectional tenses in English. Present tense. This is formed by adding an inflectional suffix to the base form of the verb. Especially for the third person singular. Inflection, the suffix s or es is added to the base verb. Example, he walks. Or simply you would have written I walk. But for third person singular, what s is added? Base form walk plus s. Note in all other person, I, you, we, they, the verb remain in its bare form. Bare means there is no need to add anything, which is also considered the present tense. Now the past tense. This is formed by modifying the verb to indicate a completed action. See, what is the inflection? The suffix ed or d is added to regular verb. He walked instead of walk. If I write he walks, then this is a, if I write he walks, present. If I write he walked, this is past. Irregular verb form. For irregular verb, the inflection take the form of internal vowel changes or suppletion rather than a suffix. Example, sing became sang, break become broke. While these do not use a suffix, they are still considered inflectional changes because they represent a grammatical shift, which is also known as tense rather than a derivation creating a new verb. So far we have seen that morphologically there are only two possible tenses with the help of inflection. They are past and present. Why other tenses are excluded? Now this question is there. When future time is there, how we can narrate those events. So we have excluded all other tenses. It is noticed that future tense, will walk, or perfect tense, have walked, are not included here. This is because, why we have not included this in tense? Because they are use this word, periphrastic. When a language uses separate independent word To express tense, that is called a periphrastic. Now see, they are formed using auxiliary verb will, have or be, which means is, am, are, was, were, rather than by changing the shape of the main verb itself. Definition of inflection. What do you mean by inflection? Inflection requires a morphological change to the word itself, like adding a suffix or changing a internal vowel. So this is all about time and tense. Now I am going to talk about something new to you, that is aspect in English grammar. If we don't talk about, or if we don't learn aspects in English, then it would become very difficult for us to learn the concept of tenses. In English grammar, aspect refer to how an action, event or state described by a verb unfold over time. This means aspect tells us manner, how an action is happening. Tense talks about the time, while tense, past or present or future time, tells you when an action happens. Aspect tells you how it happens, whether it is ongoing, completed, repeated or habitual. So all these are the manners in which we talk about aspect. There are four primary aspects in English which are combined with tense form the various verb tenses you use daily. You must have heard that there are 12 tenses, 4 in present, 4 in past and 4 in future. But I have told you what, morphologically there are only 2 tenses, past and present. But there are 4 aspects and then there is future time. So you can say this is 2 plus 1 multiplied by 4, that is the aspect. This gives you 12 number. So see, simple or first aspect, that is known as indefinite aspect also. The simple aspect is used for fact, general truth or action that are viewed as a single complete event. It does not emphasize the duration or the internal progress of the action. So simple aspect is used for facts. Just little while afterwards I am going to tell you about some sentences or events which are happening in present, past or future. So see, this is the number line, past, now, future. Present simple span all these, past, now and future. While past simple is restricted to this only, to leftward, or future simple to this or sometimes little bit here and there. So see, uses. Past simple is used for habits, facts or permanent state. Example, I drive to work. Present simple, habitual, truth. Or this is your schedule and this is your habit. You drive to work daily. The sun rises in the east. Fact. I love you. Stative verb. This is not to be used in continuous. She doesn't like you. While making negative, we have to use do or does. Ram lives in Delhi. He works in police. So again, this is a permanent situation, or you can say this is a truth. So what we say, we use present simple aspect. He wrote the report. Now write becomes wrote. So we come to the past simple, completed event. He wrote the report. When did he write? Not important. Akbar killed Hemu way back 700 years ago, 500 years ago. I lived in Delhi for 10 years. Past event, lived in Delhi for 10 years. Completed event. Now I no longer live. Ram slapped me yesterday. Past event. Time marker, say yesterday. Slapped, second form. I called upon him this morning. Remember, call upon, milne jana, going to meet somebody. So I called upon him this morning. He did not drink milk. Remember, while making negative sentences in past, you use did, and with did you use base form of the verb. It will rain tomorrow. this is a belief. It will rain tomorrow. We have used auxiliary will with the first form or base form of the verb, and tomorrow is the time adverb. So what is the belief? Belief is it will rain tomorrow. Oh, I have left the door open, I will shut it. If at the time of speaking you decide anything, then you have to use will, and the event is future. But because you have decided at the time of speaking, there is no pre-plan, so you can say this. Fog will clear soon. On radio, weather broadcast is made in such way. Fog will clear soon. So this is the first aspect, and we have given few sentences on each event, past, present and future. Now we talk about progressive, which is also known as continuous aspect. This progressive aspect highlights that an action is in progress or ongoing at a specific point in time. It is formed using the verb to be, that is amar or was verb with what? ing, present participle. Usage. What are the uses? Action happening at a specific moment or over a temporary period. Temporary period at the time of speaking or in the past. I am driving to Delhi. Remember, little while ago you said I drive to Delhi. But here this is the present event which is happening at the time of speaking. So you say I am driving to Delhi. I am flying to London next week. Future event. Time marker is next week. So you are using present progressive for future event, but these are planned events. Is your French getting better? So temporary event. The population of India is rising at a very fast pace. So is your French or English getting better? They were repairing the bus. This is the past. If you use was verb with first form of the verb and ing, action is in progress at a past time. Similarly, I was playing football at 7 p.m. yesterday. So what were you doing at a certain time yesterday? You can say this is the now, future, this is the past, and if some events is happening here, say 7 p.m. what you were doing? I was playing football. Temporary situation. Next month we will be taking our exam. Next month we will be taking our exam. Again see. Now, future, and this is the next month. You will be taking your exam. Take exam means appearing in exam. So student always take exam, teacher give exam. I will be playing football while my brother will be watching TV. Two simultaneous events are happening, and for both you are using present progressive, future progressive, aspect is progressive, time is future. I will be playing football while my brother will be watching TV. Now we come to the third aspect, that is the perfect aspect. This focus on completion of an action before a specific time. Remember, specific time is there and action is completed before that. It emphasizes before and after relationship. Usually that as past action has a relevance to the present or a later point in time. It is formed by using the verb to, have or past participle. Any one of these. Now, see, usage. To show an action is finished relative to another time. I have finished the school report. Present perfect. I have finished. Time is not there. This means it has a relationship with the present. Recently I have finished the school report. Perfect. Completed with relevance now. I have written many books. This means I am still living and writing more books, or maybe I am writing many books in future life. So I have written. If instead of that I have written, I wrote many books, this means here you have stopped writing books, or you are retired from your active life, you have stopped writing. so then you have to use past tense. I have already drunk 3 cups of tea today. This means if unfinished time, that is today is still not finished. If incomplete time is there, then you can use have. I have lost my key. This is used for making announcements. Police has arrested the thief. I have lost my key. You don't know. But it has a connection with the present that the key is not with you now. You have lost it. If instead of that you have said, I lost my key yesterday, then one cannot say, one is not sure whether you have found the key or not. But when you say, I have lost my key, this means at present key is not with you. By noon, he had arrived at the school. Past perfect, completed before another past event. Perfect aspect is used in past, particularly with had, when two events are there. This is known as past of the past. The train had left before he reached the station. Now see, this is the now, past. The train had left before you, train left here and you reach here. So you could not catch the train. That's why two events are happening. For earlier event you can use had, and for later event you can use past indefinite. Second form. He had never seen a lion before. He had never seen a tiger before. If you use the word before or already, then you can use had. This means for the first time in his life, he is seeing the tiger at that time. We are talking about the past event. Similarly, come to next. Ram called me after he had heard the news. Ram called me means here we have not used called upon me. Call means to make phone call. After he had heard the news, something good or bad has happened to me, and he saw this in news, and then he called me. Ram will have finished the project by Monday. We are using here will, and again have. We are talking about future. Ram will have finished the project by Monday. Deadline is Monday. Ram will have left before you arrive. See the similarity. The train had left before I reached the station. The bell had gone before I reached the school. Ram will have left before you arrive. So these were the three aspects we have talked about. Now we are coming to the fourth aspect, that is perfect progressive aspect. This is actually the combination of two aspects, perfect and progressive. This combines two previous aspects. It focuses on duration of an action that started in the past and continues up to another point, often the present. It is formed by using have plus been and first form of the verb and ing. Now see, what is the difference? Difference here, emphasis is on duration. See, to emphasize the length or ongoing nature of an action leading up to specific moment. Example, I have been driving for 3 hours. The emphasis is on duration, that is 3 hours. Present perfect progressive, started in the past, still ongoing. Ram has been teaching since 1981. He is teaching in a particular school for the last so many years. Remember, if duration of time is used, we use for. Duration is 3 hours. If we use point of time, then we use since 1981. You are panting. Panting means out of breath. You are panting. Have you been running? The effect of running is that because you are out of breath. So emphasis is on panting. That's why what could have been the reason? You have been running. The ground is wet. It has been raining. So continuity of the event we are talking about in this aspect. She had been working at the school for 20 years before she retired. So emphasis is on 20 years before she stood retired from the school. Progressive. Ongoing duration up to a past time. By next month I will have been working here for 5 years. So what you are talking about in future, by next month, this is now, this is future, and here this is the next month. At by this time, you would have completed 5 years working in this school. So now what is the then summary of aspect? Simple. Core focus is on fact or single event. Example is I work. Progressive ongoing action, I am working. Perfect completed action, I have worked. Perfect progressive duration up to point, I have been working. Now see, if you understand these aspects, then what happens? This allows for precise communication, especially when distinguishing between an action that is simply a fact and one that requires time and effort to complete. Perfect progressive. So these are the aspects we are talking about. So this is the, again on number line, we are talking about the summary. So this is now, this is present continuous. Up, if something happens up to this point, relevance with the now, then this is present perfect. And present simple, you see up to this line. If future events are happening, they are here. If past events are happening, they are here. See, understanding this as these aspects allow for precise communication, especially when distinguishing between an action that is simply a fact, simple, or one that requires time and effort to complete. Perfect progressive. So with this, we have finished all the tenses. If you want to learn more, then there are other videos I have prepared on separate tenses. You can go to my watch list and see them. And now if you have liked this video, please share this, subscribe the channel, so that you are able to watch the new video which I am planning to upload in future, like subject verb agreement, determiners and other things. So thank you for watching. Jai Hind.